Welcome today to Meet Our Founders, our series of episodes where we interview some founders who share their experience, the challenges they are facing, and advice they can give to other founders. Today, I'm glad to be with Sari, who is co-founder and CEO of Rich Finance, based in Jakarta in Malaysia. First of all, we would like to know a little bit more about you, Sari.
Okay.
So can you briefly introduce yourself?
Okay. Thank you so much, Audran. Hi, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity, Audran. My name is Sari. So I just started my own company, or Rich Finance, like 1 year ago. So previously, I have an accumulated experiences working in a bank for 10 years and also FinTech for 5 years. So, and then uh, during COVID, I decided to try on something new, which is building my own ventures. And now here I am building my own startup.
Great. Can you explain us what is Rich Finance?
Okay, so basically, Rich Finance is like the first Indonesian fintech enabled marketplace. So what's the meaning of that? So fintech enabled marketplace meaning we are combining the e-commerce with the personal financial management platform. So basically, we sell the dream products, like the dream products for Indonesian peoples, like gadgets, trips, automotive,
Mhm.
housing. So they're dreaming about having that. Basically, it's a big ticket size items. So we have a platform to sell that. But the difference is we combine with uh, the PFM. So to give like affordable and also suitable financing plans. So they can have like a personalized recommendation from us. So for example, let's say they want to have like a new car, but they don't know whether they can afford it or not. So from our platform, we give them advice saying like, okay, actually you can afford it, but maybe you need to take the longer tenors of the loan. So it's not like short-term one because your cash flow is gonna be ruined because of that. So maybe you'll have to take like a longer tenor and you can do it. You can take the loans and then you can buy this new car, for example, like that.
Nice.
Mhm.
And in fact, from a business point of view, it's really interesting to mix like the e-commerce or e-commerce side with like the financial services. And I think you are doing great. So it's amazing. And
You.
let's speak about like your inspiration. What inspired you
Mhm.
to start Rich Finance?
Okay, so as I stated in my background, I've been 15 years in this industry. I've already seen like this fact of a lot of people, borrowing money. It's not that it's not okay, but it's just that sometimes they don't know their capability. So they kind of exceeding their, they actually cannot borrowing that loan, but they're just pushing themselves to take the loan because maybe they want to keep up with the lifestyles. Maybe they see that, okay, their neighbor's buying a new car, so I have to buy a new car as well. Something like that. It's happening in the community. So I feel like my accumulated of my experiences maybe can help them, you know, basically to make them think first, to make them like to have that self-awareness before they make a financial decisions to buy or even taking the loan. So yeah, I think because of that, it's like I want to make an impact to the world, to the community, and I think I have the skills as well. I have the expertise, and also I have the experiences. So why not?
Now, can you speak a little bit more about the problem, like more in deep? So, what problem Rich Finance is trying to solve, and why this problem is important?
Okay, so do you know, Audran, that in monthly basis, so there are 20 million people of Indonesians taking the loan. Okay,
Mhm.
so 20 million, it averaged to 27 million in December 2021,
Okay.
sorry. So it was almost 10% of Indonesian people. Like it's happening every month. But if they pay the debt, let's say in timely manner, it's okay. But the problem is there's also a tendency to pay it late. Therefore,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
like this high default lending, like more than 90 days outstanding debt, which the millennials and Gen Z dominated that. So I think the problem here is so big in Indonesia. Like even, I told you that I've seen this phenomenon from 15 years ago, and I've already seen as well my co-workers also taking the loan and they're having a problem, although they're working in a bank. I assume they have like enough or sufficient financial literacy, but they're the educated ones still, getting trapped into the loan. So I think, yeah, because of this big problem that I'm very curious on solving it, at least not solving it, but helping the people to, again, make that kind of a self-awareness before they're taking the loan, before they're making a purchase decision. So they would be aware on the consequences next month. Then because of that, if their financial conditions is healthy, we can help as well to reach the dreams. So yeah, I think that's the problem, the big problems that I've been seeing.
Yeah, I think yeah, a part of the problem and it's the same everywhere. It's education or bad habits. And your
Mhm.
solution is interesting because you try to, yeah, educate these people by giving them financial advice. And yeah, also focusing on Gen Z is interesting because it's where like you build your habits, financial habits. So yeah, it's great to start here.
And they keep doing it like until they work like 10 years because they don't know how to
Yeah,
manage the money, right? So that's why we are tapping into the first jobbers, the
yeah,
Gen Z, because I can imagine myself 15 years ago. I just graduated from university. No one told me about how to manage the money. Even in the school, even in the university, no one,
no one,
right?
yeah,
But the good thing that I wanted to know, and then my industry was also banking, right? So I knew I have an access for the financial literacy. So I was thinking like, how about the others who have no access and they make that as a bad habit and they keep continuing that until they got married, they have family, they have kids, they have grandson. That's where the sandwich generations happen, right? Because,
yeah.
they don't know the knowledge, they don't know the literacy, and then, yeah, they just keep doing that, and then they feel like, okay, my son will cover it for me later on. Something like that. So,
The earlier
yeah,
the
so
better,
let's
for sure.
prevent that not to happen, okay? Yeah.
Okay, next question. How does your solution differentiate from existing alternatives?
Okay. So I've seen like also mini I don't feel like they're competitors, but they're just early players on of from this industry. But I think they're only focusing on either PFM or e-commerce. But
Mhm.
as I said, Rich is like a combinations of e-commerce and PFM. So that's where we are different. We are different because we're advising on every user's financial decision. So every time they want to buy something, we give an advice. So every time, let's say, they set up a reminders, we give an advice. So that's the different because we combine that personal financial management platform so we can give a suitable advice, the recommendations. So we give them like, okay, don't buy iPhone 13, it's too much for you. So why don't you go with iPhone 12? It's like a similar thing. And then it's more affordable to you and your financial conditions, and you're not gonna into more debt next month, something like that.
Now let's speak about your entrepreneurial journey. What were the
Mhm.
biggest challenges you faced while building Rich Finance, and how did you overcome them?
Okay, I think the challenge is just the same, yeah, with other startup founders, because when we started, it was COVID, but thanks God we have the investment, but it's not gonna stay forever, right? So I think the problem or the challenge is similar to the other startup founder, which is the insufficient capital. So because of that insufficient capital, it will lead to inadequate resource. And if there's no resource, then rich cannot scale up, in with the business, with the partnership. So I think, yeah, for me, managing the business efficiently is the key,
Mhm.
you know. And then I think I will overcome that. I've already overcome that with, let's say, paying the IT team, which the most expensive resources, right,
Yeah.
from the team. It's an IT team. I paid them with the shares instead of
Okay,
monthly
interesting.
check. Mhm. So, but the downside of that, they're working part times. But it's okay as long as they keep continuing the job, although not as fast as I wanted. And also I'm hiring more intern team, like the ones that hasn't been graduated yet. So I hired them as well. And yes, but we are still looking for the new investment to come. But we realize that, these days are challenging for all startups. So we want to prove our business model first by gaining the organic revenue, selling the gadgets, selling the dream products like what I've been telling you. And then combine that with the loan. And I'm preparing that as we speak now. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything you would have done differently in hindsight?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe, if I can do differently, I will not wait until, my application has completed all the features. Maybe I would just start to prove my business models from the early days, rather than building features that, maybe solve the problems, but not necessarily the business stream, the revenue stream. And yeah, and also finding the most compatible co-founder. So there would be an effective way from earlier stage. That's the things that I would do differently if I have to
Okay.
go on with this journey from the beginning.
And what advice would you give to aspiring other startup founders?
This is interesting, because I've seen this phenomenon as well, now, because as I told you, winter is coming, not much investment that has been disbursed to startup founders. So I've seen like many of my friends, startup founders, quit their dreams to build the startup because insufficient capital. So I think nowadays you don't have to quit. Let's say you already have a job, proper job in the company. So you don't need to quit that first and then start building your startup. No, you can do it parallelly. Like, let's say if you have like 9 to 5, then after 5, after 6, you can work on your startup. So by doing that, you still can have the money to gas up your startup. And also, you can try to prove your startup solution is actually a product market fit. So you don't have to do like this or that, but you can do both at the same time. And then the second one, maybe startup is like a wild journey. Like, you try to overcome everything, you find partners, you try to make a deal. agreement with, many people that you've met. So my advice would be like, if you met a partners and you make a deal, please have it in written first. Staff funders might be get excited and then, oh yeah, the written one,
Yeah.
just, leave it like it's an easy thing.
Okay.
But actually, that's the thing, that you need to do first before you go on with the agreement. Yeah.
So now let's speak a little bit more about your startup. So are there
Mhm.
any upcoming milestones or initiatives that you're particularly excited about?
Yes. Selling the gadget, the one that I've mentioned, with the loan, with the advice. So we are excited for that. And also the investment platform, we have made a deal with one of the investment security companies. So they want us to be their one of the selling agent. So we are excited about that as well. So yeah, there's a lot of things that we want to build on in this year to prove our revenue stream.
Okay, a lot is coming. And last question, how do you envision your startup making a positive impact on the industry and the society in general?
Okay. So I envision my startup making a positive impact, of course, by building the innovative and responsible fintech apps. So we hope that we can help millions of Indonesian people by making like a better decisions when it comes to buy, let's say, a significant products like a dream products, like the one that I told you, the gadget trip, automotive housing, or making an investment. So whether they want to reach their short-term goals or long-term goals, we will be there for them to give them advice, to give them sort of the recommendations. So yeah, we are hoping by doing that, the default lending will be dropped. That's a big aspirations. But we're hoping if they have to take the loan, they will do that responsibly.
Thank you, Sari, for sharing your experience and presenting Rich Finance, a financial advisor application helping to reach your goal while giving you financial advice. Thank you for your time. It was a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you so much, Audran. Thank you for this opportunity as well.